What's one thing that you can do to keep your teen driver safe when they're behind the wheel? Have them sign a driving contract, and you should sign it too. Hi there, I'm Amanda Mushrow, and at autoinsurance.com, we'll tell you everything that should be in a parent and teen driving contract, and we'll give you samples that you can print and sign today. Now, even though every state has graduated driver's licensing laws, also known as GDLs, these laws may restrict your teen driver's curfew, passengers, and supervision. Depending on which state you live in, these laws may not be enough to keep your child safe. In Arizona, for example, there's no driving curfew or restrictions on passengers, meaning that as soon as your teen gets their learner's permit at age 15 and a half, they can drive around all night with as many teenage passengers as they want. Now, did that make you panic a bit? Because it definitely made me panic. So even though it's legal, it doesn't make it safe. If you're curious about your state's teen driving laws, check out the Teen Driving Hub at autoinsurance.com, where we break down all of the laws and restrictions state by state. What are parent-teen driving contracts? These contracts are written, non-legally binding agreements between parents and their teenage children. By signing the contract, teens promise they will follow certain safety practices while driving. Contracts could include stipulations on driving hours, supervision, distracted driving, passengers, cell phone use, and seatbelts. Why should you use a parent-teen driving agreement? Unfortunately, some states have insufficient driving rules. Did you know that 17 states lack driving curfews for teens with their learner's permits? And 20 have no restrictions on passengers, meaning your teen can legally drive around with all their friends in the car, even their most distracting friends. And that's why so many parents have taken matters into their own hands, and they're signing these written agreements with their teens to restrict their driving behaviors. Here's a few reasons why creating your own teen driving laws for your kids is necessary. High crash rates. According to data from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, the risk of motor vehicle crashes is higher among teenagers aged 16 to 19, and it's higher than any other age group. In fact, per mile driven, teen drivers are nearly 3 times as likely as drivers aged 20 or older to be in a fatal crash. Given their high rates of crashes and fatal crashes, teens have expensive auto insurance costs, which only go up if they get into an accident. Better communication and attitudes. The American Academy of Pediatrics says that implementing a driving contract with your teen can result in better communication, more restrictions, and safer parent and teenager attitudes. And while there isn't firm evidence proving that parent-teen driver contracts improve driver safety or decrease traffic violations or crashes, improving communication with your kids, especially a teenager, that's never a bad thing. What should a parent-teen driving contract include? First up, curfews. The fatal crash rate for drivers ages 16 to 19 is 4 times as high at night versus during the day. According to American Academy of Pediatrics data, drivers ages 16 and 17 are more at risk of getting into a crash at night than any other age group. So first, learn about your state's curfew laws at our Teen Drivers Hub. Then, if a curfew isn't sufficient or doesn't exist, you'll definitely want to include your own curfew in your teen's driving contract. Next, passenger limits. When a teen is driving with passengers in the car, they're often distracted, making driving risky. In fact, according to a AAA study, in 15% of teen distracted driving cases, the driver was interacting with another passenger. Your teen will want to have their friends in the car, so be sure to set passenger limits that you are comfortable with. Distracted driving guidelines. When it comes to cell phones and teen drivers, it's not a good mix. Many parents ban their teens from using any electronic devices while they're driving, even hands-free devices. Distracted driving is an issue for all drivers, but it's especially a problem for teenagers. Texting and driving is really tempting, especially after teens graduate from their learner's permit and they no longer require supervision while they're driving. Though only 16% of teens ages 14 and 15 admitted to texting or emailing while driving, that number rose to 60% for 18-year-olds, according to the CDC. A DUI pledge. Even though your teen is legally not allowed to drive under the influence of drugs or alcohol, you can have them pledge sobriety in your contract. According to a study published in the National Library of Medicine, compared to sober drivers ages 16 to 20, drivers in that age range with a blood alcohol content of 0.05 to 0.079% are 12 times more likely to be killed in single vehicle crashes. Seatbelt use. Not all states require seatbelt use in every seat. Also, some seatbelt laws are under secondary enforcement, meaning police can only stop your teen for not wearing a seatbelt if they are committing another traffic violation. Unfortunately, seatbelt use among drivers ages 16 to 24 is lower than any other age group. The Department of Transportation found that drivers in this age group were buckling up only 88% of the time. Now, this is in comparison to 91% for drivers and front seat passengers ages 25 to 69 and 92% for people 70 years and older. Add seatbelts to your teen's driving contract. They need to use seatbelts when they are driving, and everyone in the car must use seatbelts too. Seatbelts could save them from injuries or even death. The CDC data shows that seatbelts use in the front passenger seat reduces the risk of critical injuries by 50% and death by 45%. Plus, every time you get in the car, make sure that you buckle up to set a good example. Ready to create your contract? Great! We have linked everything you'll need down below so you can create your own parent-teen driving contract. And to learn more about keeping your teen driver safe, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. We upload and post new videos every single week. And visit autoinsurance.com's Teen Driver Hub. It's linked in the description, and it's where we have all the information you and your teen need to be accident-free. So not only will your child thank you, but your wallet will too.